Shalom. I want to first start off giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahawah, Ba'ashem, Yahawashi, Ba'ashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, the men that taught us this truth through the spirit and power of Yahawah, Ba'ashem, Yahawashi. And peace and blessings to the elect of you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans who are the Israelites according to the Bible, who are scattered throughout the four corners of the world, who are allotted for salvation here in these last days. The name of this video is going to be called The Ministry and the Talents. And I want to speak on or go into the word ministry and speak on the ministry as a whole. And I also want to briefly, I'm going to go into the parable that Yahawashi spoke in Matthew, the 25th chapter, the 14th verse, starting at the 14th verse, and it ends about the 30th verse. That's the reason why I'm naming this video The Ministry and the Talents. Okay. I hope this video is edifying. I'm going to go ahead and get into it. So this is Ephesians chapter 4, and I'm going to start at verse 1, but the point is in the 12th verse. I want to emphasize on and focus on that verse, but I feel it's important to bring out all the verses before the 12th verse. So it reads, this is Paul, his epistle to the Ephesians, and this is chapter 4. I, therefore, the prisoner of the Lord, beseech you that ye walk worthy of the vocation wherewith ye are called, with all lowliness and meekness, with long suffering, forbearing one another in love, endeavoring to keep the unity of the Spirit in the bond of peace. There is one body and one Spirit, even as ye are called in one hope of your calling, one Lord, one faith, one baptism, one power and Father of all, who is above all and through all and in you all. But unto every one of us is given grace according to the measure of the gift of Mashiach. Wherefore he said, when he ascended up on high, he led captivity captive and gave gifts unto men. Now that he ascended, what is it but let me read that again. Now that he ascended, what is it but that he also descended first into the lower parts of the earth? He that descended is the same also that ascended up far above all heavens, that he might fill all things. And he gave some apostles, and some prophets, and some evangelists, and some pastors, and some teachers. Now, I purposely did not go into breaking those scriptures down. If any brother watched this video, you can go into particular words and you can do so. I just want to read those verses before I focus in on the 12th verse. Now, before I go to the 12th verse, the 11th verse said, I'm going to read that again. It says, and he gave some apostles and some prophets and some evangelists and some pastors and some teachers. And you can read 1 Corinthians 12, verse 27 and 28. And it talks about these same offices, and it even goes into a few more offices that are going to be held by the men of the hopeful elect in the body or in the ministry. Okay? And I'm going to read verse 12. I'm also read verse 13 because it's a very important scripture. So this is verse 12. It says, for the perfecting of the saints. So this is Yahawashi gave these different offices. He gave us grace and he gave us different measures of he gave us different measures of grace and of gifts. And it reads them off in the 11th verse. The apostles, the teachers, the evangelists, the pastors, the prophets. It also talks in 1 Corinthians 12, 20, 27 and 28. Yes, 1 Corinthians 12, chapter 12, verse 27 and 28. It talks about those that can speak well in tongues, those that are helpers also to the ministry. Okay. It says, for all these were given for the perfecting of the saints, for the work of the ministry, for the edifying of the body of Mashiach. And the word edifying means to build, building, building up in his faith and his wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. And now that word ministry, I'm not going to pull it up. The blue letter was acting up. I don't know if it started. It said it had a timeout alert. So I don't know if it's back up and running. But brothers can go into that word ministry. I believe I know it's two different words for two different Greek words for the word ministry in the New Testament. And they both pretty much say the same thing. So that they're synonymous with each other. So I'm just going to give you a loose definition of the word ministry. The word ministry, and I know the brothers in the know that's doing this work, you know the word, but for edification's sake, I'm going into it. It means service, a service to the public or to the people. In this case, according to the scriptures, this ministry is a service that there's many jobs that's being performed, as we read in the 11th verse, to provide the service to the hopeful elect, to the elect. All the different offices that you have to in a sense you're working, in to provide the service onto the elect. Okay. And for edifying and to edify the body of Mashiach, which is the elect. Okay. Now from there I want to go into 2 Timothy. I'm gonna put it up. 2 Timothy chapter 4, verse 5. Okay. Now, I forgot to say, and I forgot to say something in the beginning of this lesson. This lesson was inspired by the Apostle Gabar when he put up the lesson called "The Lord's Money." He put it up earlier today, sometime. And through that lesson, it sparked me to, or through that video that he put up, it actually inspired me to go into this particular lesson. Okay, so I'm gonna read this. This is 2 Timothy chapter 4, verse 5. It says, "But watch thou in all things, endure afflictions, do the work of an evangelist, make full proof of thy ministry." And that's the part of this verse I want to focus on. It says, make full proof of thy ministry. Excuse me. Salakia. Make full proof thy ministry. In other words, what that's saying is the office that you have, or the job, I use the word job, the job that you have inside the ministry, which is a service that we're providing through the spirit and power of Yahawashi, you know, that we're providing to the elect. Okay, the job that you have, and I'm gonna say this, most of us have multiple gifts or multiple jobs that we have to perform. You know, we uh certain brothers are more than just a prophet, a teacher, or one of the different offices that can be held inside of the ministry. Some brothers are prophets, teachers, evangelists. They can speak in the tongues well. In different tongues well, or they know how to go into different tongues. Um, you got helpers. You got the scripture talk about pastors and the other offices that can be held inside of the ministry, or the job titles that you hold in the ministry, which is the service or the business of Yahawah Bashem Yahawashi, the business of Yahawah Yahawashi. This is his service. This is his business, and we're workers inside of his business, their business, Yahawah Yahawashi. Okay, and it said, "Make full proof of thy ministry," meaning you must do your job. You must fulfill your office, or fulfill your duty, your job in this ministry. Okay, so whatever gift the Most High has given you, you have to fully fulfill it. Okay, you have to accomplish your job in the ministry, and ultimately how you do that is you endure to the end by working in the ministry until the very end, until the Most High shut down this business and bring the destruction. Okay, so we have to make full proof of our ministry, meaning we have to fulfill or accomplish our job or our office in the ministry of Yahawah Ba'ashem Yahawashi. Okay, now I'm gonna go from talking about the ministry to going into Matthew 25, starting at the 14th verse, into the where it ends around the 30th verse. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and read it. Go ahead and read it. And try to get through it as quick as possible, because I don't want to make this video too long. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and read this. Matthew 25 verse 14. It reads, "For the kingdom of heaven is as a man traveling into a far country, who called his own servants and delivered unto them his goods." You know, we all know that man is Yahawashi, when he went to sit at the right hand of the Most High, Yahawah, and he delivered to his servants, starting with the 12 apostles and all the men after the 12 apostles, until this very day, that have the goods, or the goods that he delivered unto them, which is the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of these scriptures, which is compared to talents or money. Okay, the wisdom and knowledge and understanding of the scriptures is compared onto money, and Yahawashi delivered that onto his servants, ultimately the elect. It started with the 12 apostles, or the 12 disciples, which became apostles, and it extends all the way throughout the body of the elect. Okay, So I'm going to continue reading. It says, and unto one he gave 5 talents, and to another 2, and to another 1. It says, and to another 1. To every man according to his several ability. Reading on, it says, and straightway took his journey. Okay. Then he that had received the 5 talents went and traded with the same and made them other 5 talents. So how do we trade the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, which is the money of Yahawashi? The scriptures is this parable that Yahawashi gave in the 25th chapter, calls it talents, but that's talking about money as gold, silver. How do we trade the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding that Yahawashi has given us? We do that by putting his knowledge. When we go out and preach the word, we teach, we prophesy, we evangelize, we what else? Teach. We are pastors. Okay. As we do these things inside of the ministry, because when we go out, that's when we go out and teach, and when we put up these lessons, that's you putting in work for the ministry of Yahawah. Okay. And we trade by putting going out and teaching his word, and his word falling on the ears of the hopeful elect. And then they start growing in this knowledge. They keep, so for example, the example that the Yahawashi showed us, when we go out and teach, you got men that come out and listen. And when they come out and listen, we're teaching them the word. And we're giving them the talent. We're giving them the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, which is the money. And they keep coming out so that they can get more and more of those of that spiritual money until they build up enough money, so to speak, to where they can become a workman, and we can, and through the Spirit they'll get no, we don't give it to them. The Spirit gives them the job title to come into the ministry, and now they start working. And that process is a continual process. You go out and you teach. The word falls on the ears of the hopeful elect. Eventually, they come into the ministry, and they become teachers and prophets and pastors and evangelists. Now I'm gonna get a scripture, a precept, real quick. This is 2 Timothy 2:2. It's one of my favorite scriptures. 2 Timothy 2:2. It reads, and the things that thou hast heard of many, I'm sorry, let me read that again. And the things that thou hast heard of me among many witnesses, the same commit thou to faithful men who shall be able to teach others also. And that's pretty much what I was saying. Everything that I just said, 2 Timothy 2:2 addresses that, you know. So I'm going to go back to Matthew. What verse was we on? Okay, I stopped at the 16th verse. Okay, so that's what we do. You know, we go out and teach, and a brother get built up over a course of time through the knowledge, and built up with the knowledge, wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, which is the money, the talents, to the point where they become teachers. Now they come into the fold, and they start trading, meaning they start going out, doing this, their office or their job inside of the ministry to put this knowledge on another brother or brothers, you know, different brothers, and they get the word and they grow they grow in the faith, in the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, or their spiritual money grows, and then they come into the fold, and then it continues. Okay, so let's go back to the 16th verse. It says, "Then he that hath received the 5 talents went and traded with the same and made them other 5 talents." So that's what I was speaking about. You go out and you trade this knowledge, and a brother grow in the spirit, in this spiritual money, the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of the Bible, and in turn they become teachers, and they do the same. And now the business or the service of Yahawashi is making money. And we want this. We want Yahawashi wants his business, because basically Yahawah gave everything on to Yahawashi, for him to be in control. So I'm gonna say Yahawah Ba'Shem Yahawashi, or Yahawah, why Yahawashi? I'll just say it like that. They want their business to make big money, spiritual money, okay? By putting in the hard work through your office or your job title in the ministry to perform the service to the elect, providing the service to the elect, to bring in the elect, to the ministry, and continue to have this the ministry grow, and the ministry, which is the business or the service, grow until all the elect become in, okay? Until his men become in. So you gotta constantly put in that work, putting in hard work, working hard with the knowledge that you have. You have to stay studying, reading, going into words, getting into your Hebrew, into your Greek, and getting into some Latin, and getting into this knowledge so that you can go out and put your office or your job title to use as part of as a member to the ministry or to the business. Okay. So what I want to do, because of interest of time, I pretty much think I made my point. I'm not going to read the rest of this. I mean, brothers know the parable. Like I said, you read through the 30th verse of Matthew 25, and it tells you, if you don't go out and make full proof of thy ministry, or trade thy talent, and basically grow the ministry, or build a ministry up, by bringing other men into this truth through the Spirit, where the Most High gives the increase, but through you putting in the work, you putting in that work in the ministry, the Most High give the increase and bring other men into this truth, into the ministry in particular, because that's what I'm focusing, that word I'm focusing on in this lesson. And that's how the business makes money, spiritual money. That's how the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding grows, is by you putting the knowledge, you going out doing the work, teaching this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding to a brother, and he studies, get into this word, read, get plenty of reading in consistently, and in turn he becomes a teacher, a prophet, a pastor, and that's how the wealth grows. Okay, the spiritual wealth grows. Okay, and it says what I will do, Salakia, is I will read the I said I was going to stop, but I'm going to go ahead and read verse 26 through 30. And Lord willing, I'll close this lesson out. So this is Matthew 25, verse 26. It says, or it reads, his Lord answered and said unto him, this is okay. Now this is after the servant that got the 1 talent and went and hid it. He didn't go out and trade. I mean, he didn't go out and work. He didn't go out and work, putting this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding to use, teaching other brothers and being on fire, okay? He didn't do that. So he wasn't useful for the ministry. You know, he was really a bad employee, so to speak. He was an unprofitable employee. It was a bad investment. Okay? So it reads, his Lord answered and said unto him, thou wicked. Well, I got to read 25. Well, I got to read 24. Okay, 24. Then he which had received the 1 talent came and said, Lord, I knew thee that thou art an hard man, reaping where thou hast not sown, and gathering where thou hast not strawed. And I was afraid and went and hid thy talent in the earth. Lo, there thou hast that thy I'm sorry, let me read that. Lo, there thou hast that is thine. So he basically gave the 1 talent back. That's all he had to give. The gift that he was given, he didn't put it to use. He just said, here, all I got is what you gave me. Okay, I didn't go out and put in the work, you know, or I didn't put in hard work. You know, I'm going to read the 26th verse again. So Salakia, I should have read that from the jump. Okay, so 26 again. His Lord answered and said unto him, thou wicked and slothful servant, thou knowest that I reap where I sowed not, and gathered where I have not strawed. I'm gonna read through 30. Thou oughtest therefore to have put my money to the exchangers, and then at my coming I should have received mine own with usury. Take therefore thy talent from him and give it unto him which had 10 talents. For unto everyone that had shall be given. Read that again. For unto everyone that had shall be given, and he shall have abundance. But from him that hath not shall be taken away even that which he had. And cast ye the unprofitable servant into outer darkness. There shall be weeping and gnashing of teeth. Okay? And the scripture said, or Yahawashi said in this parable, thou wicked and slothful servant. So that brother that's slothful in this truth, in the ministry, you're not good you're not profitable, you're unprofitable for the business, for the service, for the ministry, of Yahawah B'Shem Yahawashi. You know, and if you don't get your act together and you don't get on fire and start putting the Lord's money to use, he's gonna bug you out, and you're gonna be destroyed. Okay, and we all should be in fear of that. You know, we should be in fear of being destroyed by Yahawah B'Shem Yahawashi, meaning getting caught up in these different plagues that are gonna come on the planet Earth in these up and coming days, weeks, months, you know, ultimately until the thermonuclear destruction, the mark of the beast, you know. So that's pretty much it. Like I said, I went through this lesson. I hope it was edifying. I went through these scriptures That's why I named this lesson the ministry and the talents. And once again, I do hope that this video was edifying. With that, I want to say Shalom, and I also want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahawah Ba'Shem Yahawashi, Ba'Shem Rakah Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of the great millstone, and peace and blessings to the elect. Once again, Shalom.